American Express credit cards, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran in the world of credit cards, you have seen an immense amount of changes on these cards over the last couple of years, especially in 2024, with getting like 30 different changes between annual fees, credits being added, some being taken away, perks being completely removed, even credit card lineups being completely removed from this entire Amex set. Which cards you can get the welcome offer now, which ones you can't, and which order to get things in. It's impossible to actually keep track. And that's why, since it's the end of the year, it's December 2024, I wanted to go and compile every single drop, every single new change American Express cards have had in the last year, and actually the end of 2023 as well, compiled into one video. So this way, for those of you who are living under a rock, you are now caught up to speed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this is valuable to you, and get up to date because this is going to help us move forward into 2025 for American Express cards. So let's start off first with Hilton. Enjoy. That's exactly where we're starting today. And you can see right here, posted by NerdWallet just a little bit, maybe a couple of weeks ago, American Express has now closed to new applicants, so you could no longer apply for these cards anymore, that being the Amex Cash Magnet card, the Everyday card, and the Everyday Preferred card. That's right, there was a little bit of speculation, maybe a little over a month ago, that these cards were just getting revamped, considering it went from this look right here that you could see right here on the screen to this look that you could see at the top left-hand side of your screen. And really, all that really changed was that they just no longer are allowing people to apply for this said card. And not only that, but also this card, which is the American Express Cash Magnet card, also was discontinued from the public, so you no longer can apply for those said 3 cards any longer. And if you're one of those folks that were daring enough to actually apply for the Cash Magnet card, the Everyday or Everyday Preferred, well, now, congratulations, you now have a museum piece, and the bidding starts at $50. But to be honest, most of these cards weren't really necessarily worth it for most people. They were just pretty much easy ways to have no annual fee cards, get a foothold into American Express, like the Cash Magnet card giving you 1.5% cash back on all purchases, much like a Chase Freedom Unlimited card, or the Amex Everyday card, which also was a no annual fee card. But what a lot of people found valuable in this card was that even though it only earned like 2 points per dollar spent at US supermarkets, 6,000 per year, $2 on travel purchases, etc., it earned in Amex membership award points, some MR points, much like your Amex Platinums, your Golds, and your Greens. So it was a good way for people to what's considered anchor, which means really what this is good for is if, say, you have 100,000 membership award points with Amex and you have a Platinum card, and that's your only membership award point earning card. Well, if you cancel your Platinum card, well, now you just also canceled your 100,000 points. But what this card does is, since it does earn MR, it's effectively an anchor for your 100,000 points. So this way you can cancel your Platinum and you could just keep the Everyday card open, since it's a no annual fee card, and all your membership award points are safe. But that was a very small minority of people who would actually do that, and most people would get this card, which is the Blue Business Plus, which effectively did the exact same thing, and still it's a no annual fee card with some powerful earning power. A little bit more interesting was the Amex Everyday Preferred card. It's a $95 annual fee card and actually gave you 3 points per dollar spent in US supermarkets up to $6,000 per year. But the interesting thing about this card that gave it a little bit more power, which was you got a 50% boost to your points if you used your card 30 or more times in a billing cycle. So you use it 30 times. I used to say, swipe 30 bananas in one given target run, and now you get 50% boost on your points. So instead of getting just 3x back on US supermarkets, well, now you're getting 4.5x back on all supermarkets. Instead of 2 points per dollar spent on US gas stations, now you're actually getting 3 points per dollar spent. And I actually made a whole video right here talking about how it could be one of the best cashback trifectas in the world if you were to use those multipliers in conjunction with the Charles Schwab card, which allowed you to cash out at 1.1 cents per point. So that 4.5 times earning rate on groceries, like we just mentioned with that boost, now is effectively a cash out of 4.95% on all of your grocery spend, of course, up to $6,000 per year, which I thought was fairly interesting. Now, before we move on to the next point, I noticed something here that I thought was interesting, and maybe you guys would find interesting too. But this Reddit user was saying, "Oh, everything's gone now. You can't apply for these cards anymore." Okay, cool. But this person said something interesting here in American Express's general plan and what he theorizes is their plan going forward. He says that the main reason that these cards have been discontinued is because they are making a big push into people opening up checking accounts with Amex. Amex banking is making a big push in 2025. They know lots of people simply open up the Amex every day just to store their MR, which is what we talked about earlier. And if you want a no annual fee option to store your MR, now you will have to open up a checking account outside of opening the Blue Business Plus, like we also mentioned earlier, which he theorizes might also be discontinued next year, which is very, very interesting. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but something to know nonetheless. Now, moving on, we'll come to the next card here, and the next biggest change that we saw out in Amex land, which was for the Amex Green Card. Now, this is a card that offers a lot of different benefits. Some people love it for the category spend, travel, transit, dining, et cetera, or the 199 Clear Plus. But one of the other benefits that most people tout, which you actually can no longer find on the main page. Look at this. You can hit every single tab and you can't find it. Do you guys know, you guys at home, you know which benefit I'm talking about that you can no longer see anymore? I'll give you a second as I'm swiping through. Let me know down below. Say it out loud for me. Which benefit do we no longer see on the main page here? Well, I'll show you. What we're looking for can only be found on this button here, offer and benefit terms. Scroll down a little bit and you can see it right in bold lettering, $100 LoungeBuddy credit. Ah, we finally found it. So effective January 13th, 2025, so about, I guess, 3 months from now, the $100 LoungeBuddy credit will no longer be available. Now, this was also on the back of, I think maybe 6 months ago or something like that, it being removed from the language on the website. And a lot of people thought it was just going to be scrapped altogether, which it looks like it actually is. In case any of you are really wondering, this benefit was only available in the Amex Green Card. You're not eligible on the traditional green cards, which is this one, right? So it's not eligible on that one, in case you guys were really confused about that. So I thought that was pretty interesting, because this was at least what a lot of people mentioned online, a big value for people on getting the Amex Green Card in the first place. It just at least helped a little bit more offset that annual fee. But for the most part, if you've ever had an Amex Green Card, anybody you talk to who's had an Amex Green Card, most people never actually used it. Me personally, I never used LoungeBuddy, because honestly, I think like everyone else, I had the Platinum card in conjunction with the Green Card. So there was no need for me to have to pay for lounge access when the Amex Platinum card pretty much had me covered anywhere I ever went. Of course, not true for everybody, and it could be very valuable. So if you're somebody who still wants to use this benefit before January, all you have to do is go on LoungeBuddy.com. They have an app for it as well, but you can go on it right here. You click on this, and it shows you a bunch of different airports, and you could view all of them, but we'll just look at these just here. So if you're going to go to John F. Kennedy International Airport, you can see which ones you could book online with your Amex Green Card. So this way you can get your credit back. And you can see right here, like, the Prime Class Lounge or the Turkish Airlines Lounge, which is from $49 per traveler. So maybe you want to click on this one. You could select the dates that you intend on going to this lounge whenever you plan on flying in. See packages, and you can see 3-hour access for $49 per traveler, so maybe you and a spouse. And with this, you're going to be getting the food and all these different things that they mention right here. So you'd select that, you go to here, and then you can pay down below. Just make sure you pay with your Amex Green Card, and the statement credit of $100 should come back to you within like a couple of weeks, something like that. But like we said, January 13th, 2025 is going away. Next change right here, we talked about a little bit earlier on the Platinum and the Gold card, which is changes to the Uber Cash benefits. So a lot of people, when this first came out about a month ago, were kind of confused about it. But, for those of you who are still unfamiliar with what the changes actually were. So for those of you who don't know, when you have a Platinum or a Gold card, with American Express, you'll be getting $10, $15 every single month towards your Uber Cash stack. So it goes into your Uber Cash, and you could use that to pay for things. Now, up until this point, you're able to use your Uber Cash, but pay with any card that you wanted. So for example, if I wanted to use like my $25 in Uber Cash that I got between these two cards, I theoretically can use that $25. And if it was like a $30 meal, I could pay the rest of it with my VentureX card, something like that. That is very possible. And that's what a lot of people did. And maybe they would use it in conjunction with like a Saver One card and get, percentages back on that purchase. Also in conjunction with like getting 10% back through Uber Eats through their complimentary Uber One membership. Starting November 8th, which is just a couple of weeks away, you'll now be required, so mandatory, to use an Amex card as your payment method at checkout in order to be able to use your Uber Cash in your account. So no matter what, if you're using your Uber Cash, you have to use an Amex card at checkout. You can't use any other card. Also, what they mention here, which I was considering, not much of a big deal, because I always use my Amex Gold card when ordering Uber Eats and using the cash, because either or, you're still getting 4 points per dollar spent on dining at restaurants. So you're still getting your Uber Cash and you're still using your Forex back. So for those of you who might still be confused about all of it, basically, so if you have Uber Cash and you want to use that, you got to pay at checkout check out with the Amex card. Can't pay with any other card if you want to use the Uber Cash. So I hope that clears things up. But what about more front-facing things? I'm talking cards related to like the Amex Platinum card or even the Amex Gold card. That's right. These cards right here specifically have had some changes that you may have not even noticed as a thing, and you may or may not have even realized that this happened. It's literally right under our noses, and it was something that was brought to my attention just last night by our good friend of the channel, Mr. AP in the Discord, and he showed me this, and I was like, oh, I see what they're doing now. I see what they're doing. So look, check this out with me. Check out this little sneakiness, right? Okay, so if we go on the Amex Platinum card page, right? Okay, Amex Platinum. We click on the Amex Platinum card and we get to the normal page. Okay, cool. 150K welcome offer. You know, people love that. Now, this is normal. This is what we normally see when we open up the page for the platinum card or even the gold card, right? Or and also, you know, take notice of the green card as well. Look at the language on it, right? Now, remember this says special welcome offer, earn, 100,000 points after spending all this. So now take a look at this. So this that I'm opening this up on right now that I'm recording on is a MacBook Air. Okay, so it's a desktop computer. Now, this might get a little conspiratorial, but check this out. I'm now going to switch to my iPhone, which is here, and I'll try to throw it up on the screen. Okay, so now when you actually go on the iPhone version, like just on the iPhone, just normal Google or Google Chrome, and you go on the page and see what we're looking at here? Take a look at that verbiage right there. In fact, I can even show it here too. As high as 175,000 membership reward points. But wait a second. What did we see just a second earlier? We saw this, which is, earn 150K special welcome offer. But now we have as high as 175,000 points. No longer are they telling you what the welcome offer actually is. They're not saying 80K, not saying 125, 150, 175. Now they're saying as high as 175,000. And what that means to me is that they have caught wind of all of the people on YouTube and Doctor of Credit, all these different blogs talking about if you want to get higher welcome offers, well, what do you got to do? You got to go on, check your phone, check your MacBook, your iPad, check your, your sister's phone, check your future ex-wife's phone, check every device that you can get to, and then check the incognito windows to try to get the highest welcome offer possible. And in one way that is, great for the consumer, bad for the business because, well, they're shelling out more and more points. And I get there's a whole argument of points don't cost them anything. They printed it out of thin air. It's just like Jerome Powell, these different things. But, I would say that over time, of course, the difference between 80,000 membership reward points and 175 has to be great given a large enough consumer base. Otherwise, they would just give everybody 175K. Why would they even have different offers based on using incognito window or referrals or people using VPNs, all these different crazy methods that people try? Why would they now all of a sudden change it to as high as 175K? Well, the answer to that is, well, now you cannot game the system. It is entirely based on you, the revenue that you're putting, your social security number. It's going to be essentially, I would imagine, random, or they're starting to cache data from everything that you do as a person. You're spending all these different things. If you're already a pre-existing Amex credit card holder or business account holder, something like that, who really knows? The only thing I know is they're trying to prevent gaming. So this way now what you have to do is if you look a little bit below there, it says apply with confidence. Know if you're approved and find out your exact welcome offer amount, all with no credit score impact. So that means essentially you're going to have to apply before you can even find out what your welcome offer actually is. So kind of similar to pop-up jail where a window will pop up. They can now tell you like, oh, you're only approved for 80K or only 125K, 150K, 175K. And to further show my argument here, why I think this is a direct shot across the bow to everybody on YouTube and all these blogs, is take a look at this as well. Now, if you type in for the Amex Gold card, what do you get? Well, the same exact thing, as high as 100,000 membership reward points. Okay, so the same exact verbiage as we just saw with this new language. But check this out. Now, if this isn't, if this isn't what I'm saying, then I don't know what is. So check this out. Remember we showed earlier the Amex green card, right? It says welcome offer, earn 40,000 points, the normal thing. Now you might be asking, okay, Anthony, is it just following suit or all of these cards, platinum, gold, and green, the same? Well, the answer to that is actually no. If you look at the green card, it is exactly the same. It's still the earn 40,000 membership reward points. It doesn't say as high as anything. And why is that though? Why would that be? Well, because I don't see anybody on YouTube worrying about the Amex green card and having higher and higher offers. I mean, I think 40,000 is fairly high. I think you can get to 60,000. I think is like the high. Why don't more people on YouTube or blogs talk about, the difference between the 40K and the 60K offer on the Amex green card? Well, I don't really know, but what I do know is everybody talks about either the gold or the platinum with getting these record high welcome offers. So the fact that that's what everyone talks about and those are the only two things that changed on the phone leads me to think that, well, not only is it going to stay on the phone, it's going to go on the MacBook, it's going on every device out there imaginable, but also just a little bit sneaky. Alrighty, folks, the Amex Gold Card has officially been revamped. It is now 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've been streaming for the last 3 hours to see when these updates were going to happen, and it looks like it just happened, baby. Look at that. $325 annual fee. That's exactly what was rumored on Reddit all these times, and it actually came true. So $325 annual fee. You can see right here that they now have the white gold option. The welcome offer has not changed. You could still spend the $6,000 in the first 6 months, get 75K. I even saw 90K earlier. And as we speak at 5 a.m., Jacob's Points and Profit in the Discord just shared that he saw in an incognito window 6,000 spent for 100,000 membership reward points and received 20% back in statement credits for the first 6 months of card membership, up to $100 back at eligible restaurants. Freaking crazy. The highest we've ever seen on the Amex Gold Card thus far. So hold out for some higher welcome offers, man. It's out there. So that is still intact. A few different changes right here. Some people were worrying, is the restaurant's going to go away or the US supermarket's going to go away? The answer is no. We still have 4 points per dollar spent at restaurants worldwide, but we now have a cap of 50,000 per year, which we didn't have earlier. And the 4X on supermarkets at the 25K cap per year is still the exact same. Some people are also worried, is the Uber Cash going to go away? The answer is no. We still have the exact same $120 in Uber Cash, $10 per month. So that's cool. But bam, baby, we have something new here. New $84 Dunkin' credit. That's right, $7 in monthly statement credits after you pay with your American Express Gold Card at Dunkin' locations. And what a lot of people were thinking was like, well, of course you could just go to Dunkin' and pay for 2 coffees every single day, what have you. But what some people were theorizing in the live stream I was just doing is that you could possibly reload your Dunkin' app, your Dunkin' card via the app, and that can maybe possibly code. We're gonna have to do some testing with that, but if that's so, you can theoretically build up your $7 increments from month to month to get some more Dunkin' for all your Dunkin' needs, because American runs on Dunkin', right? And Amex wants us to get diabetes. I get it. Another new credit. Resi, baby, Resi. This is a credit I really, really love, and something that I mentioned maybe 6 or so months ago as soon as I saw the Delta revamp. So we have a new Resi credit here, baby. We have $50 statement credits semi-annually. So from what looks to be July to January, you're getting $50, and then January to July, you're getting another $50. Some people were worrying about, like, how can I use the Resi credit? Well, there's about 3 different ways to use it. So one, you could actually go to a Resi restaurant, just go on the Resi app, make sure the restaurant you're going to actually is a Resi restaurant. And then once you're there, you just pay for your meal with your Amex Gold Card. Just make sure to enroll in your actual app on your phone. So go into your Amex Gold Card, enroll in the Dunkin' credits, enroll in the Resi credits, and then just go to a Resi restaurant, pay with your gold card, and the statement credit should come off of your credit card statement just a few days later. So you spend $50, a few days later, you'll get the $50 credited back to you on your account. And some people are wondering, well, what if I don't want to spend $50? What if I want to keep it prolonged for more and more time? Theoretically, what you could do, like Calby and Sledge have done on their recent videos, is you can actually either go walk into a restaurant that is a Resi restaurant, buy their respective gift cards, and that should also code towards this Resi credit, just like it does on the Delta cards. And theoretically, you could build up the $50, every 6 months, what have you, to have like a really nice breakout dinner. What I'm going to do with my Resi credits, since I have kept my gold card open despite all these changes, despite all the rumors, I'm keeping the gold for 1 more year. And what I'm going to do is, since my gold card annual fee comes up in February, that's Valentine's Day, I'm going to use my Resi credits to take her to a nice Resi restaurant for Valentine's Day, baby. So that's how we're going to do it. So a lot of people were worried about that, but I think that's a great value add credit. And then also the $120 dining credit right here, which we're still going to keep. However, there is a new stipulation to that. If we actually look in the offer benefits right here, if you go down, you could see effective September 26, 2024, Milk Bar and Shake Shack will no longer be participating partners for the $100 $120 credit. So if you really love your milk bar, you love your Shake Shack, you're only going to be shaking that shack until September 26th, right? What can you do? And what they're going to be doing and adding in place of that is actually going to be right here. You could see a Five Guys. That's what's going to replace it. So we got a Five Guys burgers and fries replacing the milk bar and Shake Shack come September. And I believe this also means the Five Guys is going to be 2 days. So if you want to go to a Five Guys, cool. You could do that today, but it just means that when Milk Bar goes away and when Shake Shack goes away on September 26th, that's just kind of what's basically coming in place of that. So very interesting there. That's an interesting little difference that we see on this entire card. Above all of this, above everything else, the only thing that was updated before Amex, really on the ball, was venture capital clothing. Isn't that crazy? Look at this limited edition white gold. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just being an idiot. I'm just kidding. But yes, we also updated to the white gold limited edition t-shirts too. So, oh yeah, and one more thing. Shout out to everybody who survived the great white gold Resi war. Appreciate everybody who stuck with me. 3 hours to 4 a.m. for these freaking Amex people to update the website. God damn it. Oh man, this is not a video I thought I was going to be recording this morning. That's right, the Hilton credit cards just got a major revamp this morning, and that's why today we're going to be going over all of the different changes. Okay, so jumping into the landing page here, you can see there's a very, very different design on the Hilton Aspire card now. It's almost like oh, look at this. It says for the stay, which is the motto, right? And it really, I thought it was brick at first. And it's a very interesting design. I don't know how I feel about it thus far. I kind of like the old Aspire, but this one's kind of growing on me now. It's a little more sleek, so let me know in the comments below. Do you guys like this new design? And you can see right here, we have an annual fee raise of $550 from $450. This has been coming. You guys know, if you've been in the credit card community for a while, you guys know this has been talked about for a while. People have always theorized it's going to be raised, it's going to be raised, it's going to be raised. The annual fee is going to go up to $550. Everyone was theorizing it's going to be nerfed. Although, they did raise the annual fee, but they do have a bunch of other new credits. So now, of course, you're still going to be getting the complimentary diamond status. That was always the same. But now they have since changed the Hilton Resort credit. You can see new right here. Enjoy up to $200 in statement credits semi-annually. So almost like the Saks credit. It's going to be every 6 months that you're going to be getting $200 instead of just the full $250 for the full year. And honestly, I think this is a pretty cool move. I kind of like this because now you can kind of spread around instead of just you forego the $50 per trip, right? But now you have an extra $150 from $250 to $400 to use on a separate trip as you so please after the 6 months is over, and you get your new $200 semi-annual credit. So I think for just this credit alone, from a $100 annual fee raise to now getting an additional $150 towards a resort credit, I think most people would easily be able to use the full brunt of that full credit, making the new annual fee change effectively null and void and actually better for you in the long run. So that's something personally I actually would fully take advantage of, and I kind of like that because not only are you just going to be using it all in one trip, now you can kind of plan out 2 separate trips with your resort credit. So now, along with the new $400 Hilton Resort credit, you are also in conjunction going to be getting the typical free night award. But one thing I found interesting once you click around a little bit is that the free night reward is actually given on the card once you pay the annual fee, but now you can earn an additional free night reward from Hilton after making $30,000 in purchases, and then another after making $60,000 in purchases. Now, I think in the past, right before this, correct me if I'm wrong, it was only $60,000. So now you have 2 opportunities for someone who has a really high spend person to now earn 2 additional free night certificates every single year for the same amount of spend from the old card. Moving right along, the next credit here that is very, very different is also the $200 flight credit. So now this is not just going to be airline incidentals, it's flight credit. Actually, Nifty Ninja in the Discord, great guy, very smart guy, and his channel is coming by very, very soon, so we're going to give him a shout out. But this guy went a little bit deeper, and he went and talked to the Amex rep, and what they said was pretty interesting. And he said, as far as the Aspire goes and the airline credit, it's no longer just for incidentals, it can be used towards any airline. And the rep says, yes, this change means that there will no longer be a dedicated airline that you may use for this benefit. Any airline will do, because in the past, you had to select which airline you had. Most people did Southwest or United, etc. But now it seems like any airline, so long as you just swipe your card, you don't have to pick anything. You don't have to opt into a specific airline. You could just use the card, and you're going to be getting your credit back. But the only downside is, you are getting the $200 the same, but now it's up to $50 in statement credits each quarter. So every 3 months, you're going to be getting $50 towards the flight credits. So the way I think that would work the best, now correct me if I'm wrong here, is like when I went to Vegas, I had to pay for my wife's Delta Sky Lounge ticket, right? But I didn't get reimbursed the $50 to get her in there because my Amex Platinum's selected airline was Southwest. It wasn't Delta. If it had been Delta, I would have gotten credited back. So if I had the Aspire card and the way that this language actually is put out there and what Ninja found, I would have gotten credited back that $50 Delta Sky Lounge. Or if maybe I went to a United Club or any other lounges and whatnot that you have to pay for, and you use your Aspire card, as long as it's directly through that airline itself and it's not coded as something else, you're going to be getting the $50 statement credit every single quarter. So honestly, I kind of like it too. I don't know. I couldn't see myself using that airline credit for anything else since I get free check bags usually with Delta, et cetera, et cetera. But now, if I know that the lounges are going to be essentially, free if I just, use it once every quarter, this is a card that would greatly benefit me even more so than the credit on the Platinum card. So I don't know. That's a pretty interesting one. What do you guys think about that credit? Now, along with that, of course, it's also going to be, it looks like everything now is just going to come with this. But now we're coming with a $189 clear credit. You guys know this. You get this on the Platinum card. The green card, you get this on a lot of different cards out in life, but now the Aspire does offer $189 clear credit, which is essentially these terminals to help you get through TSA just that much quicker. It's pretty quick, and they use scanning, and it's very easy to actually set up as well. The main benefit is that it's actually a metal card now. That's right. Ninja also mentioned he just ordered it. This is now a fully functional metal credit card, no longer plastic Aspire card out there. All right, we're going premium, baby. We want, it looks like we want our metal. We want metal. But now the Aspire is cool and that's a lot of benefits, but there's actually some new benefits between the whole Hilton line. So look right here. The Hilton Honors card has now been rebranded to looking like an Apple card. Wow. Look at the Apple card here, guys. The welcome offer actually has been a little bit nerfed, so now you're actually been earning 100,000 Hilton Honors points after spending $2,000 in the first 6 months, where it used to be $1,000 in the first 3 months. So you kind of have to do double spend. I'm not really a big fan of that, but you do get 3 more months to actually hit that. So that's pretty interesting. And it looks like no other changes there on the Hilton Honors, but where the more of the changes are on the Surpass card. So let's check out the Surpass card, and let's see. Bam! Bam! Annual fee from $95 now to $150. $150. Oh, lordy. I don't know if this one is metal. I would be surprised if it is, but I guess we'll see. New welcome offer for a limited time, it says, is earn 170,000 Hilton Honors bonus points after spending just $3,000 in the first 6 months. It used to be about 130K points for 2K spend, so that has been changed a bit. And now the biggest difference that you're going to be getting with the Hilton Surpass card is now it's going to be coming with a $200 Hilton credit. So now you're going to receive up to $200 back each year, $50 statement credits each quarter, same like the Hilton Resort credit. And that's going to be made at purchases directly with a property in the Hilton portfolio. So I'm just assuming you go in the Hilton Honors app, you go to book a hotel that's, $150, you use your Hilton Surpass card, into $50 increments every single quarter. Now, of course, on the surface, when you look at the most generic and vanilla way to actually use this, which is, paying for a hotel in cash with your Hilton Surpass card, and that'll deduct the $50 from that stay. So, for example, you go to book this True Hotel for $150. After you pay with your Surpass card, it'll deduct the $50, meaning you just had to pay $100 out of pocket. Now, for a lot of us in this game who have points and miles, we want to book this True Hotel, this $150 hotel, for as little as pocket as possible, and if we have points, $0 out of pocket, right? Which I agree with. I'm the same way, and for that alone, I don't think this credit is actually worth it. But let's just say I recently used it in such a way that has allowed me to get hotels completely for free, if you're willing to work for it. Let me explain. So one of the main things I've been doing over the last few months of holding this card, I've talked about it on live streams and whatnot, but basically I've been going on HiltonGiftCards.com, paying with the Hilton Surpass card for a $50 gift card, paying the $1.95, whatever it is for delivery fee. They send it to the house, and that does actually code towards the hotel credit, aka you can build up $50 gift cards towards Hilton every single quarter. Thus, at the end of the year, you'll get $200 worth of gift cards that are just basically sitting around. One thing I actually missed was that now they have taken away Priority Pass lounge access. So now, instead of getting the 10 Priority Pass visits on the Surpass card, that is now taken away. as well as on the Aspire card. So that is a bit of a nerf. A lot of people found a lot of value from that, for at least people who had a lot of Hilton cards. So that is something as well. And yeah, I missed that. So all right, back to it. All right, guys, you know the drill by now. Thursday mornings are for the American Express credit card changes. And so did Hilton just ruin the Hilton Honors Business credit card, all the changes, getting rid of free night certificates, raising the annual fee, and much, much more? So let's jump right into it, and then we'll get the reaction from the greater community. So first and foremost, right here, you can see the annual fee was raised from just $95 to now $195, which is basically on par with that Hyatt Business credit card as well. The welcome offer was also changed to $175,000 Hilton Honors bonus points after $8,000 in spend, and we know the bonus before this was $135K points after $4,000 worth of spend. So double the spend for 30,000 points or 40,000 points, really not too worth it in my opinion, but let's keep moving on. You're also going to be getting the same 12x back on Hilton purchases made directly through Hilton. Okay, that doesn't change. Here's a new category here, which is interesting and some people are finding valuable, which is 5x back, Hilton Honors points back, on eligible purchases. On other eligible purchases, which if you read the fine print, essentially anything that's not Hilton, you're getting 5x back on, and that's on the first 100,000 points in purchases per calendar year. So interesting there. Also, you're still going to be retaining that Hilton Honors Gold status, so that's fine. We also have some new credits here, okay? So following the Hilton Surpass card, the Hilton Business card now has a $240 Hilton Honors credit. That could be used, quarterly, so $60 every single quarter at Hilton Honors credit cards. And I made a whole video about this just a second ago with the Surpass card. And basically, these credits are going to be used towards Hilton hotels, or you can even buy gift cards with them and use that towards checkout on your stay or on-site restaurants and things that you could build back to the room. So pretty valuable in and itself. So you just have to decide if you want to pay $195 for that. Interesting. And some people might be wondering, where's the free night certificate, right? Where is that if you spend $15,000 on the Hilton Honors Business card? Where is that free night certificate, or $60K another free night certificate? Where did that go? And you also might be wondering, like, wasn't there another category, like a 6x back on like gas stations, restaurants, a bunch of, services and whatnot? Yeah, that's going away, but you have to dig for it. If you look in the terms and conditions, there's actually some stuff here that's pretty interesting that they tried to hide. If you go down right about here, you guys were wondering, where is the free night award? Well, eligible purchases made through June 30th. So again, that June 30th date, you're still going to be able to put $15,000 in that time period and still get a free night certificate. Anytime after June 30th, this year, so just a few months, then you're no longer, and this card will no longer offer the free night certificate just by spending money on the card. So pretty much a nerf there, I would say. So I guess two things: if you're a business owner or you have a lot of spend to put on this card and you have the Hilton Honors Business card, make sure you do it before June 30th to get your free night certificate. Otherwise, I know a lot of people actually end up getting the Hilton Honors Business card. Well, one, for the welcome offer, and two, I do know some people who hit the spend, the $15K, to get a free night certificate. So is this card worth it anymore at $195 annual fee, even though you get that $240 Hilton credit? I'm not sure. So right here, for eligible purchases made from March 28th to June 30th, so you have until June 30th, you're still going to be getting back the 6 points total for those previous categories. So restaurants located in the U.S., flights directly with the airline and or with AmexTravel.com, also car rental companies, gas stations, U.S. shipping services, postal freight, whatnot, wireless telephone services purchased directly from the U.S., all these different things right here. You can look for yourself as well, but you're still going to be getting 6x back on all of those categories just until June 30th. Whether it's worth it or not, who knows? It depends on you, but at least that's still there, but they try to hide that in the fine print as soon as they updated the card, right? And then for eligible purchases made on or after July 1st, you're going to be getting the 5x back up to 100K spent. That's the new multiplier right now, which I think a lot of people will find interesting since it could be on anything. It doesn't have to be on a specific category. Also, if you dig a little bit deeper, but we pretty much saw this coming with all the other Hilton credit cards. Remember, we used to have priority pass. We used to have lounge access, 10 passes and whatnot through the Surpass. That's all gone. Hilton Honors Business, that is no different. Again, however, if you have the Hilton Honors Business card, it will no longer offer complimentary membership towards Priority Pass, but the deadline is June 30th, 2024. So if you haven't enrolled yet with your business card, you still can enroll until June 30th. So again, that same June 30th date. And if you do so, your membership will continue through March 31st, 2025. And will be canceled on April 1st, 2025. So you could still get pretty much another year from, today, of Priority Pass Select Lounge Access, which includes 10 complimentary lounge visits. For you and your family, which a lot of people value for sure. Oh man, here we go again with American Express. I did not expect to be making this video so early this morning. So Delta made a lot of different changes this morning. They overhauled their entire lineup of personal cards and business cards and have a slew of new benefits. Let's get right on the page right here. Cool. So we're going to go down to, of course, the gold first, because why even market the blue card? I guess they're making no money with it. So, what can you do? Has now change their annual fee language here. It was $0 for the first year and then $99 thereafter, but now it's actually the same, $0 for the first year and then $150. So they actually raised the annual fee by about 50% for this new hike, and for that we have just gotten a small hike of 70,000 bonus Sky Miles after spending $3,000 on the card in the first 6 months, which is exactly what it was prior to, and actually even slightly less than what it was when they had just the $99 annual fee. So kind of odd with Amex to entice us with more and more miles, even though they raised the annual fee by 50% so far. So far, not looking good. So let's get into some of the key member benefits right here. So something right here that's not necessarily new, but it is enhanced, as they say right here, is earn a $200 Delta flight credit towards future travel after you spend $10K in purchases on your card in a calendar year. I'm pretty sure, I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, this was just $100, so they have added $100 to this if you're a person already spending $10,000 on your card in a calendar year. Not necessarily the best benefits for a lot of people watching this video right now, I would imagine. You're still going to get your first check bag for free. That's cool. You're still going to get the 15% off when you're booking Delta flights via even miles or just with cash. New benefit, however, though, and it says right here, that's how I know it's new, is they say earn up to $100 as a statement credit each year after booking prepaid hotels or vacation rentals with your card through Delta Stays on delta.com. So pretty interesting. You'll see a little bit later on, because I read a little bit ahead, but it seems as if Delta, the cards themselves, are looking to be all encompassing for all of your travel. So not just flights, but also, you could see right here, hotels, vacation rentals, and even food a little bit later on as a teaser, but we'll get into it in a second. And then obviously the two miles per dollar spent on Delta purchases. Cool. Let's go down to the Amex Platinum card. And after we go through all this, we're going to compare the business, then we're going to compare all of the different cards based on their changes and what this means for the future. So next, Delta Sky Miles Platinum Amex card. Cool. Now it has been raised, baby. We're now at $350, up from $250 just technically from yesterday, right? So $100 raise on the annual fee here. Slightly more generous, 90,000 bonus Sky Miles after 4,000 spend in the first 6 months. Very similar to the previous offer that was on the Platinum version as well. So again, in typical fashion, just a little bit of smoke and mirrors with some added hikes of 50% annual fees, right? Enhanced right here. Now, this is something you guys might know a little bit better than me, but Enhanced is talking about the companion certificates that come every single year on the Platinum card. Main cabin round trip companion certificate for domestic, Caribbean, or Central America destinations each year after card renewal. And I believe that is enhanced. I don't think there were, like I said, you guys might know better than me, but there are certain locations on here that you weren't able to use the main cabin round trip companion certificates. So it looks like they have maybe added some locations that you're eligible to use it. All right, so that's very cool. You're still going to get a lot of the same benefits you can see on the screen right here. And then something here that is interesting and almost maybe a slight slap in the face, which is medallion status. We know that Delta completely revamped a lot of their status changes and milestones and whatnot between their MQDs. And that was maybe about 5 or maybe 4 months ago, something like that. And it made it basically impossible to get status whatsoever. I mean, it was hard before, but even much more impossible with the new status changes. But now it looks like they're giving you a little bit of a head start, that being $2,500 worth of medallion qualification dollars during each medallion qualification year. There's a new benefit here as well. They're calling it MQD Boost, which is earn a medallion qualification dollar, per $20 of purchases on your card and get a boost towards achieving medallion status for the next medallion year. So obviously, it's still going to be completely impossible to get status for most people who aren't flying like once a week. But maybe you guys have a little bit more insight. Please let me know what you think of that. Here's where it gets really interesting now. Really, really interesting. Now, this is where I think it can, Delta is trying to encompass all aspects of travel. And we have, bam, $120 rideshare credit. Okay, earn up to $10 in statement credits each month after using your card on U.S. rideshare purchases with select providers. I tried to look around. I didn't necessarily see it. If I see it in editing, I will put it on the screen. I'm at least assuming it's American Express, so obviously that's going to mean Uber. Uber Rides is going to benefit absolutely for sure. And beyond that, I'm not sure. I'm going to try to find it on the screen after the fact. But at least $10 in statement credits each month. So bam, you got your flights down, and we saw earlier we got the hotels down. Now we're getting some credits towards rideshare in case you land in a location, like maybe you're in Vegas, and now I want to take an Uber ride to downtown, right? Okay, cool. Now that's an all-encompassing card for that reason. Bam, up to $150 Delta Stays credit, which is very similar to the one we saw on the Gold, which is now $150 as a statement credit to be used on prepaid hotels or vacation rentals. So just a little bit more money. Again, a little bit hike of an annual fee as well. And then another interesting thing, which I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've seen this before, which is $120 Resi credit. So if you guys are unfamiliar, Amex has bought out Resi.com, aka it's a reservation booking website where you can go and see all the restaurants in your area, book a reservation, have a good time, and sometimes earn points for that. But they're giving you a credit towards those specific restaurants. So if you have a restaurant near you, like I'll put on the screen some near me, maybe in Charlotte or Greenville, there's a bunch of restaurants that are on Resi, and only in the U.S. only, as it says here, but U.S. Resi restaurants with your enrolled card, you'll get $10 every single month in statement credits for those purchases. Next one, Delta SkyMiles Reserve Amex card, the Big Daddy purple, right? Granddaddy purple if you're in certain areas or you dabble into certain substances. Annual fee $650, up from $550 just yesterday in true fashion. Also, they're going to be giving you a limited time offer of 100,000 bonus miles after 6K spend. Again, very, very similar to what it was prior. And then there's also some interesting things here. So enhanced again. Now it's enjoy a first class for their companion certificate. It is a bit enhanced as well. Enjoy a first class Delta Comfort Plus or main cabin round trip companion certificate for domestic, Caribbean, or Central America destination each year on card renewal, which I'm not actually familiar. Did it always have first class that you were able to use the companion certificate? I'm assuming yes, but I'm just, leaving it up to because I don't have complete knowledge. Also, very similar here with the MQD Head Start, still $2,500 medallion qualification dollars, same as the Platinum, but then a little bit sweeter here on the MQD Boost, which is earn $1 medallion qualification dollars per $10 spent on this card. So it's half the requirement. It's $20 on the Platinum, $10 on the Reserve to get some extra status. And then bam, look at this right here. Again, we have the same $120 rideshare credit. Okay, cool. Also get $200 Delta Stays credit as well, so about $50 more than on the Platinum. And then bam, again. I'm sorry if I'm annoying. $240 Resi credit here. Earn up to $20 per month at U.S. Resi restaurants as well. So, if you're going out on the town, you want to go to Valentine's Day pretty soon, and you have a reserve, okay, go get yourself a Resi restaurant. Go get yourself $20 off. It's pretty interesting. Oh, and then it does pop up at the very bottom, the blue, and nothing has changed. All right, let's go to the business card section. Let's see what they got here. Okay, so we got the Delta SkyMiles Gold Business Amex card. This is a card I have, and I've gotten tremendous value from in the past as well. Same exact annual fee raise of 50%. It was $99 before, now it's $150 now. And 80,000 bonus miles, so 10,000 more than the personal version, but of course, $3,000 more worth of spend on the card in the first 6 months. So that's, a lot. Also, new benefit, earn up to $150 as a statement credit each year after booking prepaid hotels. Again, that same benefit there that is also on the personal. And then also another enhanced benefit, which is earn a $200 flight credit. So pretty similar to the personal version, which that's not incredibly different, but it is a little bit of different on the Platinum card. So if we look at the Platinum, again, same $350 annual fee, 100,000 miles, 8K spend. Cool, we get the point. Enhanced, same exact benefit on the main cabin round trip companion certificate, so that's the same as the personal, but then something's different here. Enhanced, earn 1.5x miles on transit, including ride shares, taxi cabs, and more at U.S. shipping providers, and on single eligible purchases of $5,000 or more, up to $100,000 of combined eligible purchases per year. The same exact medallion qualification dollar, head start and boosts. Okay, that's not different. And then the same exact benefits for rideshare, Resi, and Delta. Okay, cool. And then let's look at the reserve business version. That's same 650 annual fee, $12,000 worth of spend for 110,000 bonus miles. That's weak sauce. That bonus, come on, that's pretty weak sauce. And then this card is also been enhanced with earning 1.5x miles on U.S. shipping, transit, or U.S. office supply purchases and eligible purchases after spending 150,000 on your card in a calendar year. Interesting. Okay, cool. And then the only other difference here is actually the Delta Stays credit. For whatever reason, it's not $200 like it is on the personal version. It's $250 on the business version. So I guess, prepaid hotels, if you're looking to do that and you have a reserve, you got a little extra $50 in your pocket for the business version. Otherwise, rideshare and Resi are the exact same. Now, the next thing that I wasn't necessarily going to bring up, but because I saw so many comments across so many videos of people still asking about family language and how that relates to you and getting Amex cards and whether or not you're eligible for welcome offers, I figured let's just do a quick run through on the updated family language between all Amex cards to see which path you should take for applying for cards in the right order just based on the family language. So we'll do this real quick and we'll do it all together. So firstly, the Amex Platinum card. If you're unfamiliar with how to actually find the family language, you essentially just click on the card, you go to offer benefits and terms, and you scroll down to the first text where it says offer terms. And it says it right here. You may not be eligible to receive a welcome offer if you have had or have had the Platinum card before, the Charles Schwab Platinum, or the Morgan Stanley Platinum, or previous versions of these assortment of cards. So if you've had any of those three cards, you will no longer be eligible for the welcome offer on the Platinum card. Okay, cool. So that's pretty clear. Now let's go back to the Amex Green card. Let's see what this one says. Here is where most people kind of get a little bit tripped up. So if you look right here, right below where it says offer terms on the green card, again, you may not be eligible to receive a welcome offer if you have had this card, the green card. You had the Platinum, the Morgan Stanley Platinum, the Schwab Platinum, and also the Amex Gold card or previous versions of these cards. That will make you ineligible. So essentially, if you've had the Platinum card or the Gold card, you are no longer eligible for the Amex Green card. And in similar fashion with the Gold card, same exact thing. If you've had the Premier Awards Gold card, which is like the 2018 and prior version, the Platinum card, and again, the same Schwab, Morgan Stanley, if you've had any of those cards, you will no longer eligible for the Gold card. So what does this essentially tell us? It basically tells us is we have to climb the ladder in one way. That means green card first, get the welcome offer. Move on up and apply for the Gold card, get that welcome offer up the ladder. And then lastly, Platinum card and get that welcome offer. And in that order, if you do it out of order, you're essentially losing out on each welcome offer below whatever card you get. So if you get the Platinum card first, you no longer can get a welcome offer on the Gold and the Green. That's just how it works. That's just how it is. So next is the Hilton Honors Amex cards. Let's see if they have any family language right now. So this is on the no annual fee first version of the Hilton card. So it says you may not be eligible to receive a welcome offer if you've had or had previous versions of this card. And that's pretty much it. So there's no welcome offer, no family language restrictions to this card, none for the Surpass card, and just to be safe, nothing on the Aspire card as well. So there's no current family language on the Hilton cards as it stands, but as a general rule, and how I've been saying it for the past year, if you are going to go for Hilton cards, I still think you should start with the no annual fee, then Surpass, then Aspire, because the family language can come out of nowhere and at any time. If you're caught in the middle, you're now foregoing your Surpass and your no annual fee Hilton card welcome offers. Again, if they change it, I just think it's better to be safe than sorry. All right, next let's look at the Delta cards. Let's see if there's any changes here. So if we go to the no annual fee for the first year Delta Gold card, let's see right here. And oh man, it looks like we do have some restrictions on the Delta cards. This is why we always have to check. So you may not be eligible for the welcome offer if you've had the Delta Sky Miles Platinum card or the Delta Sky Miles Reserve card. Essentially, as we just said earlier, if you get the Reserve first, you're foregoing the Platinum and the Gold welcome offer. So the best way to go about the Delta cards for welcome offer maximization, you go for Gold, you go for Platinum, and you go for Reserve. And in that order. You get the Reserve first, no longer getting the welcome offer on these two cards. So Gold, Platinum, then Reserve. And for those of you who are curious about the Delta Sky Miles Blue, let's see what the Blue says. So it looks like we do have family language in the Blue. This is why you got to check. So you'll not be eligible if you've had the Delta Sky Miles Options credit card. I never heard of that before. The Delta Gold, the Delta Platinum, and the Delta Reserve. So technically, if you really wanted to maximize, you would do Blue, then Gold, then Platinum, then Reserve. Jesus. And again, if you guys want to hit these record high welcome offers right now, it's actually ending in 11 hours. Wow, they actually tell you now. 11 hours. I'll leave the pin comment below, direct access to these high welcome offers. So if you go for it, let me know. And I appreciate you if you do. And then lastly, let's look at the Marriott Amex credit cards. So let's see right here. Let's look at the Bevy, the 250 annual fee redheaded stepchild bevy. So it does look like we have some very interesting and the most stringent welcome offer restrictions I've ever seen. Okay, so you may not be eligible to receive a welcome offer if you've had this card or the Brilliant card. So if you've had the Brilliant, this one right here, you're foregoing the welcome offer on the bevy. Okay, good to know. Also, welcome offer is also not available to applicants who have had the Ritz-Carlton card, JP Morgan Ritz-Carlton card, the Marriott Bonvoy Bountiful, also from Chase, the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless from Chase, the Premier Plus card from Chase, the Marriott Bonvoy Premier from Chase. And this is really hurting my eyes to even read and go through this. The Marriott Bonvoy Singular credit card from Chase, Marriott Rewards, I think it was an older card, the Bonvoy Bold. Again, they mentioned Premier Plus, the Marriott Bonvoy Business Card. Oh my god. The Bountiful. Well, not so fast there, past Anthony. You didn't read well enough. If you actually look and read with your eyes, you can see that there are a couple of things here. So that first swath of all those different credit cards, like the Ritz card, the Marriott Bonvoy Bountiful, the Boundless, the Premier Plus, all those ones up until that point right here, only making you ineligible for the welcome offer if you've had any of those cards in the last 30 days. Now, the second swath being the Marriott Bonvoy Bountiful, Boundless again, the Bold, that mentions in the last 90 days. So if you had those cards in the last 90 days, then you're ineligible for the welcome offer on this card. And then the last tier being a similar swath of cards, being the Bountiful, the Bold, the Boundless, etc., is if you already got a card member bonus or an upgrade offer on those specific cards in the last 24 months, so 2 years. So it's not an outright ban of the welcome offers forever, but you do have these little bit of tiers right here that you can see all in the fine print. And I'm going to forget that in just a second for the Brilliant card, but this is my caveat for that here. This is the same for the Brilliant. Let's look right here. The Brilliant, very, very similar. Look at this. Look at this. If you're not eligible for the welcome offer on the Brilliant, if you've had the previous Starwood Preferred Guest card, and then also the same, the Ritz-Carlton, JP Morgan Ritz card, the Bountiful, the Boundless, the Bold, etc. All of these different cards, I guess the only one that's not included is the Marriott Bonvoy Business card. That disallows you of getting the welcome offer on the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card. So also very, very good to know. But seriously, if you found value in this update of all these news events, whether they're old or new, appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button right here. We're still trying to hit 10,000 subs by hopefully the end of the year. We'll see. We're not going to make it though. We're definitely not making it. But once we hit 10,000, we'll stay at the most dangerous hotel in America. You have my word on it, and I'm very, very scared. So thank you guys for being here all the way to the end. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much.